So let's go to the next stage, sort of the final stage of the multi-front war that I wanted to address. And so we started simple with the color code. Now let's make it a little more complicated. There's 6 forms of warfare that I monitor. There's physical war, obviously, bombs blowing up like a John Wayne movie, The Longest Day. And I also include biological and chemical war, anything that physically affects your body. Number 2 is the cultural war, where you fight with words. I hate you, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're racist. Okay, that's a cultural war. And then we have economic war, you fight with dollars. Legal war, also known as lawfare. You have demographic war, where you move populations around. What's going on in the southern border is demographic war, organized by the government against the American people, by the way. And then you have cyber war. So I monitor these 6 forms of warfare. And in round numbers, there's 10 bad guys. We discussed half of them, but there's more bad guys. And if you take 10 bad guys and you multiply by 6 forms of warfare, you would get 60 front war that we're contending with. And that's the multi-front war. And the question is, how do you fight a multi-front war? But first, the analysis, which we're into now, is how do you analyze a 60-front war?
Yeah, no, and I want to zero in because this is the Economic War Room, and we talk about economic warfare. And you wrote a great article. It came out, ESG investing pretends to be noble, but is fundamentally flawed. Ken's Thought of the Week. Can we drill down on ESG and your thoughts on that?
Yes. Well, one of my basic premises is I try to look at all aspects of a problem. Remember, I come from the medical field. And so just as a patient, your knee hurts. Okay, but your knee is part of the whole body. So you can't just look at the knee and forget about the rest of the body. There can be other issues involved. So I look at national security the same way. So I was doing some analysis of ESG investing because it's becoming more notable and mentioned more in the newspapers, and people seem to want to put money into it. And I looked at it, and it sounded noble. What's wrong with a good environment? Or social affairs or governance. It sounds fine. Now, the details are not so fine because the environment, nobody's proved that carbon dioxide is an enemy of the people, so to speak. It's just accepted as an enemy, and therefore we have to curb CO2 without any particular evidence. But I said to myself, instead of saying that attacking, so to speak, the environment or social issues of a corporation or governance issues, I said to myself, I don't want to get into that fight. I can have disputes with each of those, but the bigger dispute, the elephant in the room, was where's the discussion of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights? This is the basic intellectual underpinning and legal underpinning of our society, and there was no mention. So I said to myself, well, what if you're running Facebook or Twitter, just pretend, and you have trees, you have a wonderful campus full of trees, and your office building emits no carbon footprint, and you have a diverse workforce, and you have good governance over the management team, and then you're disobeying the First Amendment and curbing the free speech of illegally curbing the free speech of Americans and trampling on the Bill of Rights. And I go, wait a minute, what kind of this ESG score?
That's not hypothetical. That's right. Happening exactly today, exactly right. Like you've said.
Right. So they should get a flunking grade. And if I were the one giving out grades, and that's when a little light bulb went off in my head, and I said, okay, this is a good article. Let me develop it into an article. And I published it a couple weeks ago on my Save the West website.